monitors. How do you know how far close or? I try to keep it within like a thumb's length. I try not to put it up against my chin, but I'm like here speaking into it.
Is like this pretty good here?
Yep. Say when, buddy. We're when? We're good? Welcome to Cash on the Hood, everybody. I'm here with my favorite friend, Casey Smith from Smith Metal Works.
One of your favorite friends. And thanks for having me down here. It's kind of an exciting thing to be here on your second live stream.
Second live stream. If it wasn't for the fans, we wouldn't have a live stream, so we're very thankful to get to talk.
It's a very interesting interaction here. I've never been on this kind of live stream where I guess everybody at home, once you subscribe to the Most Wanted Fine Art channel,
correct,
and then we get to interact directly with anybody that's subscribed, and you can message us or send us any questions.
That's right. So as we're watching this and we go through our segments tonight, please send us comments because this is a fan show. We wanted to interact with the fans. Over here is Gerardo. He is helping us with this. He's the identity web design. If you need any website stuff done, we can help you out there. But what you're going to do is you're going to type in the comments below. We're going to be able to see it right here on the monitor, and we'll be able to answer your questions. Of course, as we're getting started, quick shout out to the team. Thomas Dorsey, he's a Smith Metal Works customer.
Yes, that young man stopped by the shop here not too long ago on his way down to Most Wanted Fine Art to get his car painted, clear from over by Cortland, Ohio.
That's right, Mecca.
I believe. And they run our products, and we thank them for that, just like everyone else that supports us.
That's exciting. A couple more shout outs. Amanda Bright, thanks for hooking us up with the shares on Facebook today. And of course, Scotty the Rat, Scott Hodgins, also from Ohio. He is a celebrity. He was a part of our Get This Money series that we have along our YouTube channel. So if you want to see Scotty get killed and thrown in a demolition derby minivan, then that's the guy, Scotty. So Scotty sent me a bunch of messages this week. He's affiliated with Derby Dog, and we're going to go through some of that right there. So let's go through. Oh, get my cup out of the way. Sorry about that. Get my icy light. So what we're missing here tonight is Todd Siopa.
Yes.
Todd is, it rained really, really hard in Pennsylvania today, and there was some major flooding. We were not sure if we were going to be able to get on air today because it just rained something that I've never seen before.
I guess that's pretty much got him landlocked right now, correct?
Yeah, Todd sent me a video. He is unable to get out of his driveway. It's about a dumpster deep. The
I know,
river.
The video he sent me, it looked like a little 8 to 10 foot wide creek turned into a raging river.
Got to shout out my man's Richard Walters, Esquire, attorney. He lets us use his office for our live stream. Thank you, Richard.
Yep.
You might know him from the movie My Bloody Valentine. He's a famous actor. So
I knew I saw him somewhere.
Right?
Now it makes sense, yeah.
Right?
But it's never a bad thing to meet an attorney.
I like to keep my attorney with me as much as possible.
Oh, I just thought I'd come in here and say hello, everybody.
Thanks for coming in, pal.
Just thought I'd drop in here and say hello.
I appreciate it.
Hey, come by any time.
All right. Thanks for that intro, Jason.
You got it, buddy. See, that's you right there on the monitor.
Oh, all right, okay.
You're
He's the guy in the middle.
You're pretty. You're pretty.
Yes, I brought some pizza for everybody.
Do you see that? Look at that. There's even a label for you because Gerardo is so good at this.
All right, right.
He's even got your Instagram.
Great. I can pump one thing, and that is Kecksburg, which is a movie about a UFO that landed in Westmoreland County back in 1965, and I play Lyndon Baines Johnson, who is, well, you have to see the movie. Anyways.
That was a president, right?
Right. Lyndon Baines Johnson, LBJ, was a president at that time. and anyways, there's a premiere in Greensburg at the Palace Theater on September 12th. So that's Kecksburg, Keckcckburg. Not good at spelling, but I can play LBJ, let me tell you.
You look just like him.
Right, exactly.
Strong
Spitting image.
resemblance.
Is there any more filler that I can put in here for you guys?
That's
No?
good. You did a good job, pal. Thank you so much.
I guess I'll go eat some pizza now, huh?
Thank you. Thank you. Richard J. Walters, Esquire, on the Instagram. But yes, he's the office in Cash in the Hood office. Very nice. Thanks for the pizza, bro. All right.
One thing about Penn Avenue down here, you know, in all the years it's developed, you got all kinds of places to eat and all different cultural cuisines.
We do. We do. We were just at Mixtape getting ready for this.
Yeah, more options than Yellow Crick and Dairy Queen in Jackson Center, I can tell you that.
So tonight, let me give you a rundown of our show tonight. We're going to go with our 4 favorite segments, which is Who Won Where, where I tell you I have a list here from promoters who sent me who won, where, and some upcoming derbies. Our other section is Parts Corner with Smith Metalworks, where Casey's going to show you some parts they make there in Mercer. And we have another section called Beginner's Luck, where we talk how can you get started in Demolition Derby for the people who are not necessarily pro drivers, who want to know just how you get a car.
For example,
and then our favorite segment was Ask Todd Anything, so maybe we'll get Todd to call in for that final segment, and you can ask Todd a question, or we can pretend to be Todd and answer the questions for him.
pretend to be Todd. That'd be something.
Right? All right. Oh, look at your graphic.
Yeah,
Look at you.
that is a beautiful
Here,
logo.
number one. That's a good logo.
You know what I like best about that logo is we have it available in all of our apparel, and We Build is a slogan that anybody that builds Demolition Derby cars, you can carry that for yourself. Not only do we build parts, we build the sport, and we like to build winners, and a lot of products that we've had out there this past year have been in the winner's circle.
Let's go through this who won where and see how many products you might have had on this. So, in what is this, Greenwich, the Derby Dog Promotions show that just happened in the truck class. First place, Alan Neer in the 34 Double D. Hank Williams, number 12, got second place, and third is Virgil Mikauka. Sorry, buddy. I asked Scott how to pronounce your name, and he said just go for it. So, Mild Weld, Mark Siopa, you guys might know him. Joey Pernice, the 007, and Ryan Holler got third place there in the Mild Weld. Congratulations to him. The compact class, Chris Zurcher, Kerry Squires, and Jason Stanfield. Pro stock full class, Tyson Combs, you know this?
Yeah,
know this guy?
Tyson. Yep, he's a tough competitor over outside of the Canton area. Also going to be my son, Chance Smith, one of his teammates on the captain for Vegas, Corey Roman's team.
Oh, yeah?
For the Stir and Dirt event coming up in November.
How many people are on that team? Is that a three or four? 4 cars?
Four cars.
So Smith Metalworks, or is that Corey Roman?
No, Corey is the team captain, and I believe the team name is yet to be determined. Chance had an opportunity to be on that team, and it's Corey, Tyson Combs, Pete Hansen, and Chance Smith.
That's going to be a tough team.
Sure hope so. It's a long way to go to not be tough.
Well, you guys are good builders. Second place pro stock full size is Brian Marcy, and of course, our good friend of the show, Mad Mike DeFricia in third place.
Who?
Mad Mike? Heard of him? Is color orange, 2R, something?
Oh, that guy.
He's from your neck of the woods.
He's from Mercer County, PA.
Right?
Oh, we know Mad Mike.
And speaking of Mercer County, let's stick with the Derby Dog promotion. This Saturday the 13th, Derby Dog is going to be putting on something at the Mercer Grange Fair. This is something that you run.
Yeah,
usually.
We've been there, I think, once or twice in the past 3 or 4 years. But Derby Dog puts on that show. It's a nice little fair, small track. I believe they're running street stock and pro stock there, and some of their other classes. I'm sure you can find it on their website. But it's a nice little fair. It's not overcrowded, and it's a good little track for as small as it is. It's very
I saw you stuck on the tires for the longest time, and you managed to come off those tires and lay some people out. You're a good driver.
The one time ever that I've ever remembered anybody by chance helping me get off of tires was Mad Mike DeFricia, which I think if he inadvertently got me off there, but I think it was in his favor. So I thank him for that.
That's a good fella. Well, they're also running a Derby same night at New Alexandria right here outside of Pittsburgh, also with the Derby Dogs. And then right back to it in Trumbull County on Sunday the 14th. We got to give, again, a shout-out to the Mecca Mafia. They're Thomas Dorsey III, Thomas Dorsey II, and we want those guys to do really well out there in Trumbull County.
Yeah.
You ever run Trumbull County?
Yeah, ran there on a team show about 3 years ago. It's a real large track. They pull a very big crowd, and it's one of Eastern Ohio's best demolition derbies, and all the ticket buyers there anticipate it every year.
Well, hopefully we can make it there. Good luck to that, Mecca Mafia. I hope you guys do well. We really appreciate your support. Moving on to Nebraska, the Steinbecks, some of my favorite players in the Demolition Derby, get bet promotions. August 2nd in Stockville. You want to check out their Facebook page and give them a shout out. Let them know that we shouted them out. Moving on. Some of our favorite competitors out there in California, the Delara La Familia. They're July 13th in Chino, California. I'm telling you, that's a derby that I want to go to.
Yeah, I met all those guys at the Las Vegas show, and it was very interesting. You know, we'd never been exposed to that Western culture for demolition derby that you see in Utah and, you know, out through the West. And it was a great show, and we got to really meet a lot of new people, and you know, and there's a lot of diversity out there in the pits, and it was really enjoyable. They got a great pit crew. They had some cars that were tore up, and they were able to put them back together.
I was impressed.
Amazing time. Yeah.
Right. I was thoroughly impressed on how they were able to get their cars back together to continue participating. So while we're out west, Stern Dirt, this July 13th is the Cash Carnage in Logan, Utah, with a $15,000 payout. And then you're going to see me there the weekend after, July 26th and 27th, at the Wasatch Wipeout. That's in Heber, Utah. That one has $95,000 in prize money, $25,000 for first place.
That's an amazing purse. But you know, out west, the stuff that they bring to the table at some of these Stir and Dirt shows is amazing. I mean, they pack the house for people that come to watch the show. The drivers put on a amazing show. I mean, they're not afraid to hit out west. They send it.
They do. It's very exciting. I'll be out there the 23rd to the 28th. So if you need something painted in the pits, please hit me up there. So salute to Johnny. Thank you for bringing me out to Utah and to Vegas to participate. So coming back here on this side of the United States, Keystone Nationals, August 3rd and 4th, 2019. Welcome. Hello, Jamie Zahnizer. Shout out Jason Van Horn. We were really excited to have you guys here commenting on our live chat. Vegas was a good time. That is exactly right. Jason Van Horn, thanks for commenting on
I think a lot of the folks that were out there, such as we were from out east here, will be planning on going back. It's really an affordable trip. You can get flights out of Pittsburgh for $99. I mean, on the airlines.
I'm going back to the Plaza Hotel.
Yeah, the Plaza really has it's right at the track, and it's got everything you need. It's right across from the famous Fremont Street, which
that ends up sucking in a lot of Derby drivers.
Hey.
3-4 a.m.
Yeah, I was.
They're still there,
that, but I did manage to get my first tattoo.
I was excited to see you get your first tattoo, and I'm sure your wife Darlene was pretty pumped too.
She says she's getting one when we go back this year.
Oh, I'll get one too then. We'll all go together.
Tattoos for everybody.
I got a little something left somewhere right here. I can fill that up. So again, Keystone Nationals, August 3rd and 4th, 2019 in Brookville, PA. Are you going to be participating in that?
Yes, we're actually going to be on the track. Not as in all the classes, but we're going to be supporting it with some cars.
Are you going to be vending?
We will be vending at the Keystone Nationals. We'll have some S1E2 products there, our tent. And also, there'll be some releases soon to come out by Bo Lockwood for some really unique driver hospitality things that we are helping out with as well from SMW with Bo. And I'm sure he'll release that shortly, which will be the first of anything like it at any Demolition Derby event.
That was one of my first introductions to a pro Demolition Derby a few years ago. You brought me out there. I came out in my big giant spray painted van, and I had no idea there was derbies that went overnight. I'd never seen a skiing cradle in my life. Old cousin Dane was like, "No, you just don't know. You just don't know, Jason."
Yeah, it was a good eye opener for you to see some stuff. There's a lot of good drivers that were there from, all over.
Oh, my main man Steve Sayopa will be there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, you pulled everybody from like Justin Buchanan was there. Pete Hansen was running. You had a lot of guys from New York, top-notch drivers. So, I mean, I could probably go on and on with the list of names, but
so that's something you want to look for as the Keystone Nationals. A couple more things let's get through. Spinning Wheels, Josh Decker, salute, my man. Coming up July 20th in Lewis County Fair, New York. And then, of course, the fan favorite is the Relic class in Morris, New York, October 5th. What you were telling me about this Relic class, and what's this derby about?
If that's the San Filippo Smash, that is the one of the large benefit events that's up there to benefit the San Filippo research. I was very unaware of all that until we attended it last year and was lucky enough to make time to go up and vend. And Spinning Wheels put on a tremendous show for the day. We had a lot of products that we had out that Jeremy Gawley really goes out of his way to. The drivers basically win prizes. I don't believe there's any cash payments to the drivers. I think prizes like parts, etc., donated items. The support for this show is tremendous, and it's for a very, very good cause. We were fortunate enough to meet a lot of New York people because we'd never been up that way. And I was amazed at the driver support and the sportsmanship, and everything about the event was very good. So if there's one event that you can put on your calendar for the fall, it would be that. We were planning on going back. We have full intentions of supporting the show as much as we can and, helping out and making sure that anything we can add helps it be a great success. And the Relic class is that's off the hook.
What is the Relic class?
I believe the Relic class is a pre-1960 or 60 and back automobile.
So big fins.
Big fins, bubble cars, none of which really goes across the Barrett-Jackson alleyway. So, I mean, everybody gets excited about things. There's a lot of negative publicity on that. But what people don't realize, a lot of these cars that were used, they were left to rot. A lot of them weren't in the best condition. Drivers pretty much did this for an exhibition event. And then you had guys like, contenders like Mike Klinger that showed up with hard 59 Fords that were there to win.
Nice.
And you'll see that again. And there was quite a few guys that had some pretty neat old cars that were out there sending it,
I had an opportunity to buy a 67 Ford wagon. I guess that wouldn't work in this show because it needs to be older than that, huh?
I don't know if that would work at any show.
Oh. I
Maybe,
did call you and ask
I just
you.
don't see a lot of them out there in the winner's circle, Jason.
No.
But you did do well in a Prius, so
Well, I have cousin Dane helping build the car, so anything can happen.
you're right.
Right? I believe in that fella. So let's round out the who won where on a good note. The Iron City promos. Of course, that's in February in Florida. That's the big show. But September 7th in Hamilton, Ohio. That's the 2019 Southern Ohio Compact Nationals. I saw they got some new uniforms for the crew on that one. Nick King and company, salute. And so we love the Syopa Racing, and we want to help support them the best we can.
Yes.
So if you want to be a part of the who won where, you want to be on this list. How about the hardcore? Let's finish. Let's end it on a good note.
Okay, a good note. Going back to Southern PA shows, Hardcore Promotions started in Farmington with their kickoff for the Hardcore Tour. It's back to Farmington on July 20th, and then to Fayette County, which I believe that fair is 10 days long, I think. It's one of the longest running fairs in PA. That is on July 25th, and then to Greene County, and then August 9th, the Washington County War Zone, and I believe back to Farmington on August 16th, and then my hometown show is Stoneboro, Pennsylvania, the Labor Day
We
lockdown,
love Stoneboro.
which has 2 nights back-to-back at Demolition Derby, and then to West Alexander, which is on Tuesday, September 3rd, and Wednesday, September 4th. So right there, them guys got a steady week of Demolition Derby that they're working through, promoting almost nightly, back-to-back with no break. And then, of course, the championship, Saturday, September 28th, which I believe features the throwback class for the old-timers. And it'll be the championship for all the qualifiers for their tour. So we're excited to see how that pans out. And these guys have put in a lot of work to really get a lot of the shows through the county levels back up to par for the ticket buyers, so they got something worth watching this year.
Well, I love the Stoneboro show.
Well, why wouldn't you?
The Stoneboro show is my favorite in the whole world.
All I like about Stoneboro is you can pretty much take your track politics and all your deal making, and you can throw it out the window.
Stoneboro show is some of the hardest hitting. The people that show up to Stoneboro probably do well in Utah. They drive really, really hard. I have the broken teeth to prove it.
Yeah, that makes me feel bad every time you say that.
I love it because it makes me look cool.
Yeah, it makes me feel bad.
This broken tooth is from this guy right here. He hit me with a pacer so hard.
Yeah, you sound like Chris Furster.
Right. All right. Well, let's check in with the chat on the YouTube. So please, type in on the YouTube, ask us some questions. We're here live. We want to do some interacting with you. Jason Van Horn, definitely going back to Vegas. Salute to that. We'll see you in the parking lot there for certain. Jamie Zonheiser. Do you know Jamie?
Yeah, he supports us. He follows a lot of our stuff. He's a great hometown fan. Says Stoneboro rules.
Stoneboro does rule. I'm bringing the Prius this year, and if I can get cousin Dane to help me out, we're going to bring the Florida car out there.
Yep. And we got Tyler Smay from he's out in Cambria County. He's a young gentleman that we brought onto our team a few years back. Runs the T-Birds.
Oh, that was right.
Yeah,
that was right.
He says Stoneboro is one of a kind for sure.
It's a weld town and hard hitters. That's correct there, Jason Van Horn. Now, you put people up in your yard. I'm not allowed. I don't want to tell everyone to show up to your yard.
Well,
but no, don't do that. Okay, my bad.
What we do have for Stoneboro is if you message us on the Smith Metalworks page, we have about 6.5 acres available for camping.
Primitive.
Well, we have limited electric and limited water, which we have the people that come every year. It's 2 miles from the fairgrounds by a back road. Mm-hmm. It's a good time. We get people from all over the state, Ohio, and it's relaxing. Doesn't matter who you are.
Your brother's pretty generous. He lets people come over and hang out there too.
Yeah, my brother has a cabin across the street. He makes sure nobody goes hungry for the weekend. He pretty much cooks breakfast every day and keeps the grills running, and it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for joining us on that segment. Let's move on to our next one. So, again, for Who Won Where, if you want to be on this list, text me, email me, find your way to get your information to me. I want to know what's happening in Georgia. I want to know what's happening in Illinois, what's happening in California, the Pacific Northwest. We want to make this a nationwide show. And I'm very thankful to making the friends that we made in Vegas, because without them, it doesn't help me find out what's happening. I know there's USA Demolition Derby, and there's plenty of places to find these things, but we want to help you, and tell you all about it.
Yeah, and keep the inquiries coming in on the interactive. I mean, this is pretty neat seeing everybody respond. Live stream. You can just send us at will, no matter who you are. You got a question?
That's right. Please ask Casey ask him some hard questions, or ask him some softball questions. You got him here. You got a legend right in front of you.
I don't know about legend.
You can ask him a question, and maybe he can help you out. So, Casey, Jamie wants to know, what's the toughest track you have ever run at?
I'll be honest with you. The toughest tracks that I've ran at, I would say
Wolf's Corners.
Well, yeah. Don't.
Sorry, my bad.
That's tough in its own ways. I haven't been back there for years, but I would say the toughest tracks, are across the border in Ohio. Make no mistake, my first real education in Demolition Derby was at Canfield, Ohio in 1991. I thought I had a machine. I went over there and there was 90 GM wagons lined up, and I ran against some of the real original legends, Jack Elrod and Hildebrand, and there's some guys that laid the smackdown. And then when you get into Western Ohio, which has always been a very, very, very tough playground if you want to play in it.
I was there with you for the team show in Sandusky, and I felt like we did okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd associate Sandusky as being as the toughest tracks as far as when you go into Western Ohio. There's all through Ohio, Southern Ohio. Mark Elliott's hometown.
But you've run Blizzard Bash. You were out there. You were in the center of Blizzard Bash.
Yeah, that was a great event. We had this conversation earlier tonight, just sitting here waiting to meet you. And, in 1988, when I ran my first Demolition Derby, I never thought that we would be competing nationally indoor arenas like Topeka, traveling to Florida for the Southern Nationals, which is, I think, a great indoor venue this year, like a semi-indoor arena.
Louisville was a good indoor one this year, too.
Louisville, is, Freedom Hall is a tremendous event. You have, it's just amazing when you look at Las Vegas. Some of the venues that you're put on today, it's amazing. And, I'm not trying to discount any of the other venues that do great events like the King's Old School up in New York and a lot of them, but it's far beyond where I ever imagined it would be, and we're lucky to be a part of it and lucky to meet a lot of the people. And there is a ton of top competitors in this sport.
I'm sure they're buying your parts too.
And there's some that, and then some. You can't say enough about a lot of the guys out there that are tough as nails, and they dedicate a lot of time to competing.
Scott said, Scott Hodgins was telling me that he was going to be able to listen to our live stream but not watch it because he's building a car. So we understand where your priorities are. So if you're in the garage and listening to us, salute to you, and thanks for putting us on. We're very thankful that you care about Demolition Derby and care about our efforts here and giving you a program about Demolition Derby. So if it wasn't for the fans, it wasn't for you guys getting us up on the numbers there for the YouTube page, we wouldn't have this live stream. So I'm very thankful. I would like to transition into some parts. Would you like to talk about some parts?
Yeah, we can talk about some parts and kind of, I guess, that whole realm. This is a parts corner where you want to start.
Yeah, I want to talk about the parts corner. So what you offer is you offer parts for not only just the pro driver, but you offer parts for what I call the beginner's luck, the rookies, the people just getting started, people who don't even know what a battery box is. You offer these parts for them, and then you offer these combo plates for the as you move up into creating parts. And I guess what I'm saying is like demolition derby for people who are just getting started in it. You're gonna find that there's reusable parts that you're gonna move from car to car to car. So Casey has made some parts that you can move from car to car to car, and he makes them strong, he makes them tough, that way they last. And you know, after you derby your car, oftentimes you just leave it sitting out back in the field getting rained on. And so these parts need to be tough. That way they can be, you know, after they sat there for 3 months getting rained on, they can be moved into the next car and then still be used and be efficient and functional.
That's correct. Everything about a demolition derby is what you would call an abusive environment. From, you know, working on the cars to competing to building the cars. So, and when it comes to the parts world, you know, we've heard a lot of this. You hear it all across the spectrum, like, you can't believe you buy this for a car, buy that. Well, this sport has started to evolve to where there are classes from, you know, your street car classes with the kick the windows out, chain and bang, to your pro levels, to all the goodies and, you know, top powertrains and everything that you can put into a car. But what I'm here to talk about mainly is why we build parts, what we build, and, you know, about the choices that customers have, you know, not only with ours, but there's some other top parts manufacturers out there.
I mean, you've been buying parts from other manufacturers for years.
Oh, sure. Yeah. We run a couple different brands of parts, and we get that question a lot. You know, people say, well, you know, we looked in your car and it's got, you know, this brand this in it. It's like, well, yeah, we run a couple other products. We don't make products that, you know, cover the whole banner. You know, we make what we are good at manufacturing. We manufacture everything in-house at Smith Metalworks. So everything from design by my son Chance, you know, on his 3D program, to the burn table, to the press brakes, is all in-house. So, you know, we control how soon we process the orders, you know, our inventory levels, and that really gives us a customer service level that I feel is unmatched.
You do have impressive machines at the shop. I feel like you're Henry Ford. You can make a car.
Well, we make a lot of stuff, you know, and we also do some things outside of the derby parts world. But, you know, what we make is what we really feel we're the best at manufacturing. From your basic controls to your, you know, gas pedals, brake pedals, and, you know, transmission coolers. But we're most known for our bumpers, which unfortunately I did not want to drag all that down, but, you know. But
well, I mean, yes. We got some parts back here. You want to bring them up here and show people how this works? What is this part right here? How's this start?
This part here is a base plate for our modular pedal assembly. What's unique about our pedals is
talk about how move stuff.
You don't have to have one conglomerate of a pedal assembly and move it from car to car. You can buy it piece by piece. Yeah, that's the accelerator. You know, which is our throttle pedal. And basically, you can place it on the floor. What's unique is we have a remote mount master cylinder brake pedal, which really frees up a lot of floor space. You can pretty much mount the master cylinder anywhere in the vehicle. You know, on a dash bar, for a lot of compact guys do. Typically for pro cars, we see them mounting them in the rear seat area back by the gas tank protectors. It's a high volume master cylinder, which if you run an OEM brake system, it does have enough volume to support that.
I mean, I see that your master cylinder is really big.
Yeah, the reason that we have that is so it's easier to bleed the brake system, Jason. And by the time, if you do run any OEM brakes, you don't run out of fluid by the time you get there. So that way you can bleed the brakes easily. You can keep it mounted upward where you don't have to fight the air and all that, but it really frees up floor space.
So I mean, this is what you need in every car, and this is what we're getting into is you're getting parts that you can reuse over and over again, because these parts aren't going to get smashed. I can see that they're painted, the cables look big, they look beefy. You got some holes here
Yes,
for
we
the
have
mud to fly through.
we have large pivot points on all of our everything that has to hinge, and we use a common cable in all of our products. That way, you only need one cable. If you have something go bad, it'll fit anything. And you can buy this one piece at a time, or you can buy it all at once. So you can see it all on our website at smithmetalworks.info if you want to purchase it. Most of our orders typically ship within 24 hours of order, whether it's in stock or not. We can build it and ship it.
How many different bumper styles do you make now?
Basically, we make 4 bumpers. We make the heavy front, we make the Mighty Mini, and we make our flat series, which were intended for the rear vehicles. The biggest difference between those 4 is the gauge of material. The Mighty Mini and the light flat bumper is a 10 gauge material, and the heavy fronts and the heavy flats are made of 3/16.
And you've been working hard to get promoters to accept those bumpers as OEM, right?
Well, what's been really nice is they're affordable, and they offer a solution that is far beyond superior to a stock GM bumper. And all the promoters like them because when they leave our shop, they're the same. They know that they go out one way. So most of the major promoters in the Northeast and even now out West are starting to accept them, leave them into the rules, because it does give guys all an equal edge to have them, and they pick and choose where they allow them and which classes and which models they run. And we have the 76 SS bumper, which mimics the 76 Chevy Impala, and that's probably one of our hottest sellers. And all these bumpers are priced under $400. They start at $145 and go up to $395.
It's a good deal. For a good bumper, because you can keep reusing it.
Yeah, we've had a great success with those, and a lot of people have been happy with them, and it's been good. I mean, it's a great solution for a problem that's hard for guys to find bumpers.
Are you still doing the program if you win with the project?
Yes. One unique thing we do at Smith Metalworks is our winner's rebate program, where when you purchase our products and they hit the track for the first time, if you win with that product the first time, you get 25% of your purchase price back to you via check, or you can put it towards the credit for another product.
That's fantastic. Very good. All right, we're moving on. That was very good. Thank you for the parts corner, for our very first parts corner. We're going to move on to our next segment where we watch some videos from the New Alex Cancer Night. Please leave us comments on the Facebook or on the YouTube page. That way we can answer them.
My name's Todd Davis. I've been derbying for 18 years. I'm retired right now. I'm here in New Alexandria to sponsor the cancer stuff. Cancer is a bad thing in my family. They took my mom from me. So I'll do anything I can to help out Cancer Society or whatever I got to do to help them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was perfect. Todd Siopa, the show. What does Cancer Night mean to you?
Means a lot to me. I have several family members that passed away from cancer. I myself was diagnosed back in 2016 with cancer. Removed it. I've been cancer free for 2 years now. Just a very special night for me. As you can see, they didn't have a class for me to run, so we threw together a stock car in 3 days just so I could come out, compete, have a little fun, and raise some money and raise some awareness for cancer.
What do you think your chances are?
Slim to none.
Good luck out there tonight.
Thank you.
Cancer Survivor, the show. He's won most of the cancer demolition derbies there at New Alex. Before that was Todd Davis. Excuse me. And they were talking about I asked them, what does Cancer Night mean to them? So I take the camera to the pits, if you know, and you see me wandering the pits with a camera, and I'm trying to just get the history of Demolition Derby. I want to hear it from you, and we're trying to film it and put it out here as a part of the permanent record of what is Demolition Derby. So, Cancer Night means a lot to Todd because he was able to, beat cancer, and now then he's creating awareness. And I know that that's something that happens at a lot of demolition derbies where there's a theme, and the theme is usually something whether it's military appreciation or cancer awareness night. What do you think about demolition derby and the fans and their participation in these awareness nights? I mean, how important do you think that is?
I think it's huge, and one thing that you'll see, in demolition derby, no matter what track you go to, whether it be New Alex for the Cancer Awareness Night or across the nation, there's been several instances where there's been a cause where somebody's brought it up to want to make awareness and get participation from drivers, from fans. And the one thing there is no shortage of is support for that cause from all sides. I mean, that is the one thing that you see at every track when you have something.
That's like the family of demolition derby. It does feel like you're in a family, whether everyone has their differences, but it's still.
Well, whether you have your opinions on the track with drivers and each other and fans, the one thing that's common is a lot of these diseases and a lot of things have touched somebody no matter where you're from, where you've competed, or who you are. And it's something that lets everybody relate.
And what do you think, the fans? Send us some messages. How do you feel about cancer? How do you feel about demolition derby as a family? Does it feel that way to you? It feels that way to me. Since the moment that you guys embraced me as a demolition derby guy, even though I was doing my demolition derby, I felt like there was a moment where I kind of had my arm you put your arm around me, and it kind of brought me into the family and allowed me to be who I am and myself. And I feel like demolition derby does that. It does. It just, there's something about when you go into the stands, everyone kind of knows one another.
Yeah, it's great. For years I always said that the demolition derby world is almost comparable to the WWE because you got people cheering and booing, and you got your favorites and your not so favorites. And what's nice today is no matter what happens, is most of the time you see the drivers and everybody getting along after the event, or the sportsmanship level I've seen really evolve over the years. But the support, going back to the the cohesion of the fans and the drivers and the supporting the different things like cancer awareness is it's unmatched outside of a lot of other things. So all the differences get set aside.
It does. It feels like there's a sense of identity, a sense of loyalty, things that make what a family is. I feel like when I bring my son up Rowdy, I feel like there's something in demolition derby that he can use to grow as a man. That it makes me feel a certain way, and it gets me excited, and it makes me feel a part of something really big.
Well, no matter what, demolition derby is a lot of hard work just to show up and compete, and it's on a stage that is set up more for failure more than winning, and it teaches you a lot of perseverance and how to get back up.
That's the truth,
isn't it? If you're on top, it's tough staying there. It's just everything about it's tough, and it's not just t-ball. I mean, you show up, it's work from day one.
I think you said the right thing there. There's a lot of failure, and it's a lot of getting up from that failure, a lot of learning from that failure. I know I've been learning for years from mechanical failure, and
it's Murphy's Law times a million. So you prepare and you go out, and that's what it's about. But What's your next segment here, Jason?
I think our next segment is let's start gunning down the other way. Let's ask Casey anything.
I thought that
was Todd. You could it's supposed to be ask Todd anything. So I would like to think I got Todd in my heart right here in Big Wayne and the Syopa Racing Nation. All right. Randy Duke. Who's Casey? Are you kidding me? Is that Smith Metalworks? I like Randy. He's a good guy. Absolutely. Welcome to help at Elmer's house. Do you know what he's talking about here? Is this an inside joke?
Nah, I'm sure. My brother was a huge icon in our area for demolition derby from late 70s into the 80s. So everybody that grew up in our area knew who he was.
He's a perennial winner.
Yeah. Yes.
He has the trophies to prove it. Salute Amanda Lake. Cancer does suck. And I'm sorry for your family. That is sad news, and we wish the best in health for everybody. So as we're kind of winding down here, in 2 weeks you're going to find me in Salt Lake City. So we're going to have to come up with what we're going to do for the live stream. The live streams, we like to do it every other Thursday. It's called Cash on the Hood. We have a website called Cash on the Hood. If you don't know what Cash on the Hood means, it means to, as you're trying to buy a car, I like to negotiate with cash on the hood. Like, I don't like it when people call me off of Craigslist and want to talk me down without even seeing the car. I'm like, bring me the cash and we'll talk about it. So that's what we're doing here. We're talking about Demolition Derby or Cash on the Hood. So we got a website, cashonthehood.com. Of course, we got the Facebook page, Cash on the Hood, the Instagram page, Cash on the Hood. And we wouldn't be able to do this without Gerardo, who's running the engineering here. He's the guy changing the graphics back and forth. He's moving from camera to camera. He's making this look like he's making this look good, a little bit better than just us talking into a cell phone. And of course, Casey Smith drove an hour and a half to be here with us tonight with his beautiful wife, Darlene. She's very supportive. Thank you. Shout out to her and their son, Chance. Chance, one day we'll get you on this show, buddy. Maybe you work a little harder. JK. So...
Nice.
We'll get the young guns in here. We'll get Joey Pernice.
Yeah, get Joey in here. Joey's a good kid.
And we'll get them mumbling on the microphone and talking about some stuff.
And them other Syopa guys.
And the other Syopa guys, we'll get them in here too. So for our second show, I feel pretty strongly. The computer didn't quit on us this time. I think we're doing pretty good. Shout out to Richard Walters, Esquire, for his use of his office. This guy's my lawyer. If you need anything like that. And again, if you ever see the movie My Bloody Valentine, you could be like, I saw that guy. So he's pretty intense. Any last messages for us? Any questions? Anybody want to get us a question? One last question on the YouTube channel there. Randy says you better tell Chance how to build a car.
You need to tell Chance how to build a car.
I think Chance is doing pretty good. That young man is coming into his own. He's young.
Well, where's Randy Duke from?
I don't know. Randy Duke, where are you from, buddy? We'll wait for him to respond.
We'll wait for the response.
So, again, shout out to Thomas Dorsey the second and the third. Thanks for Mecca Mafia. If it wasn't for you guys, we super appreciate it. Amanda Bright, Scott Hodgins. He's, of course, got murdered in a demolition derby van by the crew at Get This Money of our other YouTube videos. I thank everybody for subscribing, watching our channel. Shout out. So, for Casey Smith, I'm Jason Sauer from Most Wanted Fine Art. Salute to Todd Syopa, Gerardo for making this happen, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks.